There's a 6-month-old drone that's terrorizing the Russians on the battlefield, yet videos of it in operation are still classified. Unlike armed drones which carry weapons under their wings before launching them and returning to base, the Switchblade kamikaze drone carries its own warhead and blows itself up, destroying tanks, armored vehicles and artillery nests in the process. It's a one-and-done drone, Wahid Nawabi, CEO of AeroVironment, which manufactures the Switchblade, stated. So far, 700 Switchblades, both large and tiny, have been delivered to Ukraine for use against the Russians. We understand what the Ukrainian people are doing. This is our contribution, Switchblade Program Manager John Aldana stated. He explained why the Switchblade drone, a missile placed in its launcher with its wings folded, is called that. It'll fit within this tube. A gas generator can be found at the very bottom. It propels the Switchblade forward. Once it's clear of the tube, the wings immediately flip out, just like a Switchblade. Cameras in the nose scan the battlefield and feed video back to an operator directing the Switchblade from a tablet. Once it locates the target, the operator has the option to effectively dive bomb into the target and take it out, Aldana explained. It's a one-way trip. Switchblade crates are already being loaded for Ukraine. We've been in contact with the Ukrainian military, Nawabi stated. Thousands of them might be used. The type of conflict they're currently involved in is practically ideal for the Switchblade capabilities. He's referring to the long Russian convoys advancing near the front lines. Switchblade can literally take them out like popcorn, he explained. As far as I know, it's never happened, Aldana said when asked if a Switchblade could be shot down. However, the signals that operate the Switchblade can be jammed, and just 100 have made it to the battlefield thus far. Nonetheless, the weapon has earned Wahid Nawabi a spot, together with Vice President Kamala Harris, on Russia's list of sanctioned Americans. It's hardly his first brush with Russians. I grew up in Afghanistan, Nawabi explained. I left Afghanistan right during the start of the Soviet Union's occupation of Afghanistan in the early 1980s, so this is also very emotional and personal for me. He learned what happens when the Russian army invades your country when he was 14, the oldest of 4 children. I've been there before. I know exactly how you feel. Life turns entirely upside down in a couple of seconds. And he recalls how one weapon, the American-made Stinger missile, was instrumental in driving the Russians out of Afghanistan. I recall the Stinger missile vividly, he said. I've seen what it caused to Russian helicopters. I've probably witnessed a half dozen of them get fired from the sky with my own eyes while standing on the ground. Now he wants his Switchblade drones to destroy Russian tanks. A weapon that you cannot hear, see, or know where it comes from, and bang, it hits you all of a sudden, he stated. It just wrecks your mind. Before we talk in depth about the Switchblade 300 drone, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss on any of our great content. After the Switchblade 600 anti-armor variant was unveiled in 2020, the original Switchblade was rebranded as the Switchblade 300. The Switchblade contains an explosive, transforming it into a flying camera robot. These all-electric weaponry will be used to detect and attack nearby assailants rather than distant foes. Switchblades come in 2 sizes, the Switchblade 300 and the Switchblade 600. Despite the fact that both can be carried by one person, the weight difference is substantial. A 300, for example, weighs only 5.5 pounds and can be carried in a backpack. A 600 is substantially heavier, with the missile weighing 33 pounds and the transport components weighing significantly more. The Switchblade 300 has a range of slightly more than 6 miles and can fly for 15 minutes while hitting targets. The 600 can travel even further with a flight range of 25 miles and a flight time of 40 minutes. The Switchblade is outfitted with cameras, and the video produced by these sensors, along with GPS data and image processing, is utilized to guide the Switchblade around its surroundings. The Switchblade can not only receive targeting information from other drones, but it can also track and locate specific targets. In that instance, it becomes just another weapon among many that can be aimed at a target based on targeting data provided by other drones. Unlike previous reconnaissance drones, the Switchblade 300 carries a small explosive payload that's most likely to be used to target humans or unsecured weaponry such as a mortar launcher or an open machine gun emplacement. The larger Switchblade 600's payload has an anti-armor warhead, making it useful against armored vehicles. The Switchblade has a significant benefit in that once the human in charge of the weapon recognizes that it no longer has a target, they can order it to be called off and then recovered. According to the Switchblade 600's brochure, the weapon has a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. The Switchblade is a tactical missile system, according to AeroVironment, which alludes to the machine's unusual dual-role capabilities. This is what it's all about: a flying scout as well as an armed weapon. This type of weapon is known formally as a loitering munition. Despite the fact that these look to be modern designs, there is an historical context. The Kettering Bug, an unmanned biplane created in 1918 that's considered a predecessor to both drones and cruise missiles, flew for a brief length of time until its wings were released and it crashed into the earth with its explosive payload. Modern loitering munitions are designed to fly for a longer period of time while searching for targets such as anti-air missile sites and radar facilities using sensors. Even with the Switchblade 600's maximum endurance, the drone can only fly for 40 minutes at a time, while the Switchblade 300's limited flight time is barely enough to qualify it as a loitering drone. When they were first proposed and tested, they were referred to as kamikaze drones or suicide rockets. Popular Science referred to the prototype Switchblades as flying assassin robots and kamikaze suicide drones more than a decade ago. All of those titles highlight an important element of the category. If one of these weapons explodes, it can never be used or recovered again. The Switchblade, like many other drones, is led by waypoint navigation, in which a human draws a course on a map and the robot goes off on its own once launched. According to Steve Gitlin, Chief Marketing Officer at AeroVironment, unlike radio-controlled devices, the operator is just saying where he wants to see, where he wants the camera to be pointing, and the onboard computer flies the aircraft to that point and maintains on target. Our tactical unmanned aircraft systems have a comparable capability. It's feasible to lock onto a target and have the aircraft maintain its position on that target entirely on its own. Other software on the Switchblade, like feature and object recognition, may also add to the weapon's ability to locate and track a target. It's not an autonomous weapon in the strictest sense, but it is a weapon with autonomous properties that has the potential to change how people use weapons in the future. That's it for today's video. Let me know if you think the Switchblade can be a safer alternative to other big drones, such as the Reaper. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video just like I've enjoyed making it, and make sure to comment with any future videos that you're interested in seeing. I'll be seeing you all soon, but until then, watch this video to learn more about the Terminator drones used by the Ukrainian military, and as always, subscribe or crash.